And let me tell you this. The older you do get, the more rules are gonna try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. Livin.
Up next is the movie review. This is Dazed and Confused. Release date to theater September 24th, 1993. Directed by Richard Linklater. Written by Richard Linklater. Produced by Richard Linklater. Starring Jason London as Randall Pink Floyd. Joy Lauren Adams as Simone Kerr. Mila Jovovich as Michelle Burrows, Sean Andrews as Kevin Pickford, Rory Cochrane as Ron Slater, Adam Goldberg as Mike Newhouse, Anthony Rapp as Anthony Tony Olson, Sasha Jensen as Dawson, Marissa Ribisi, sister of Giovanni Ribisi as Cynthia Dunn, Cole Hauser as Benny O'Donnell, Renee Zellweger in a cameo as Nezzy White, Wiley Wiggins as Mitch Kramer, Ben Affleck as Fred O'Bannon, Parker Posey as Darla Marks, and Matthew McConaughey as David Wooderson. This is the movie preview right here.
This country is founded by people who were in the aliens, man. George Washington, man, he was in a cult. And the cult was in the aliens, man. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, man, they were way into that type of stuff, man. You're getting air from there, man. It's no good.
It was the last day of school.
Miss Crawford, I was thinking that maybe you and I can get together over the summer. I mean, it'll be legal. I mean, look at me.
It was the first day of summer vacation.
You guys know anything about a party here tonight?
No, sir.
It was a time they will never forget.
There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak.
I thought he was cute.
Oh, that's this. You thought he was cute? Do you realize when he graduated, we were like 3 years old?
If only they could remember it.
Okay. So you're not going to go to law school? What do you want to do then? I want to dance.
You gonna be quarterback next year?
I don't know. I might not even play.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man.
Super dominant male in a 50s greaser uniform.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
The 50s were boring. The 60s rocked. The 70s, oh my God, they obviously suck.
Dazed and Confused. See it with a bud.
Behind every good man, there's a woman. And that woman was Martha Washington, man. And every day George would come home, she'd have a big fat bowl waiting for him, man, when he'd come in the door, man. She was a hip lady, man.
And there it was. Oh my. Full disclosure, I had never seen this movie in its entirety until preparing for this. I've only seen clips. I had no idea.
I think I've only seen it once prior to this. And that's been quite a while back.
We have talked about this movie, and I couldn't remember if we had reviewed it or not, but we had had discussions about some of the cars in this, and maybe it was a cross-reference from something else. But about 3 minutes in, I've seen this before. I hadn't remembered watching it, but okay.
This, for a lot of you out there, you've seen this movie often. And it's probably a favorite, maybe something that's kind of like comfort food to you. Quentin Tarantino, the legendary, he did not have anything to do with this film. He has this in his list of top 10 movies.
Really?
Period. He's publicly stated, in a time when I was very lonely, I watched this movie, and at the end I felt happy because I wasn't alone anymore. I was with my friends. And I think a lot of people feel like that. So here's just kind of some of the normal stats here. So the music isn't by a composer. Bernie, it's by all of the bands in the 1970s. Every last one of them except one. Which one, Bern, do you think the movie Dazed and Confused doesn't have a song from?
If I had a list in front of me, I could tell you. But offhand, maybe I'll point it out as we go along.
Maybe Queen.
No Led Zeppelin.
No
Led Zeppelin.
No Led Zeppelin. And the name of the movie is after the Led Zeppelin song, Dazed and Confused.
Oh, I thought you meant what song that they used in the movie was not from the 70s.
Oh, sorry about that. No, yeah. I misspoke on that.
It does have a great soundtrack.
It does a wonderful sound. Every song is right, man. Right on.
Here's some interesting stats. The budget of the movie, $6.9 million. 1/6 of the movie budget was for the music rights. And there is no, composed music in here. It's all 70s rock. Mm-hmm. All of it. There's not a single moment where you don't hear some type of 70s rock. It only made $8.2 million at the box office, so it barely made its budget back. Now, Gramercy Pictures is who distributed it. I don't know who that is. I've heard the name before, but it's not like Paramount or Warner Brothers, one of the biggies here. But one actor that was in the movie said years later he saw this movie, which didn't make any money. And that, as an actor, they never know if it's going to work, but they're all a little disappointed when it doesn't go big. He saw it bundled at a movie store with Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And he knew, oh my gosh, it's a cult classic now.
That was an interview with the guy that plays on Yellowstone. I forget his name, just slipped my mind.
Oh, yeah, no,
I've seen that before, yeah.
Is that Cole Hauser?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the IMDb summary. The adventures of high school and junior high students on the last day of school in May 1976.
Wow.
Okay, we can do better.
That's the same person that writes the Dukes reviews.
Sounds like. Here's the AI summary, just as Google Gemini. Set in Austin, Texas on May 28th, 1976, Dazed and Confused is a quintessential day-in-the-life film that follows various groups of teenagers on the last day of high school. It forgoes a traditional high-stakes plot in favor of a sprawling, hazy look at youth and rebellion.
Okay.
Better.
Okay.
Okay.
Was it actually based in Austin? I know it was filmed in Austin.
I don't know.
I remember at the very beginning, that opens up with, the date and the school and everything, but I don't remember if it said Austin, Texas.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do they ever tell you that they're in Austin? They tell you that they're in Texas.
Yeah, but it was filmed in and around Austin.
Here's my summary. Burn, a little Dazed and Confused summary music here, please. Dealer's choice, whatever you like.
Dazed and Confused. Play that.
I have just seen this movie in its entirety, and I am 50 years old, so I have two summaries for you. Age 50 Robert sees a future for the kids in this movie. Paying the price for a lethargic, privileged, drugged out, wasted time where they all, if they're lucky, are going to get a job at Chuck E. Cheese for the rest of their life. Damn kid, they don't deserve these cars.
No.
That's for sure. But if I were a senior in high school and I had just seen this movie, I admittedly could not relate to the drugs or the booze. But I definitely could relate to, as a senior in high school, driving around for fun and finding people to fight the boredom. And that was always fun. The cars in this movie are fantastic.
Yeah.
They do a phenomenal job. I tried to find a flaw where one of the main characters was driving like a 78 or a 79. So it's not there. The cars are terrific. We get Ben Affleck playing the world's biggest D-bag, and he's good at it. And we get numerous movie stars in their teens before they've become big. And we get the launch of Matthew McConaughey. The all right, it comes in right here. If Quentin Tarantino says he likes this as a top 10, there's got to be something here. So I give this 9 full Dazed and Corn Dog Confused. Delicious foods.
I think I read somewhere that there was you can see like either an 80s or a 90 model Suburban or Blazer or something like parked alongside the street as they drive by. But that's still kind of square body, so it kind of blends right in. So I can see that passing.
Let's just kind of start with the cars. So just off the top of your head, list them. The movie starts out with a 70 GTO Judge crawling a high school parking lot, and it's
great
in
camera
the color,
angle and everything.
It's in the color of a Judge, the one that you think of. What is that? Like that orangey yellow color. I don't even know what color it is.
Yeah, I don't either.
With a dude smoking and a chick smoking, and I mean it's very 1970s. Bernie, you were there. Did people really smoke that much? Like in high school?
They really did. they gave us in high school a smoking lounge. The school provided a smoking lounge between the two wings of the building in this patio area. And there were cigarette machines in the lounge area.
Mike, for how old did you have to be? 18?
I don't remember if there was an age limit. I think the limit was how many dollars you had.
You're kidding.
No, not kidding at all.
All right. How over the top is how they present life here? Does everybody drink and smoke weed?
Did they lay it on thick, or is it pretty?
There is some Hollywood. There were stoners, and there were the drinkers, and there were the rockers, and all that. This movie is kind of presenting that everybody was like that, and that really wasn't true. And it may vary some from state to state and school to school, certainly. But in my environment, it just wasn't like that. And you didn't have to do that to be in a group and be cool. It was completely optional, in a clique. You could do it or not do it, and everybody was fine with it. It wasn't a thing. It just was not a thing. I'd call it a little thick. Everybody got out. The driving was spot on. The scenes around the drive-in were spot on. The cars were spot on. The music was spot on. It was so much good in this movie. Cool car, unexpected car, but the Electra Deuce and a Quarter driving around with the kids in it. Clearly moms on the night out, and not something you would have bought used, but certainly on the scene, limited, but it was certainly there. The square body, spot on. Oh, I love that truck. The stance is perfect. The sound is perfect. The colors are perfect. The wheels are perfect.
Everybody got something cool to drive. I liked that the girls had the convertible Beetle. I liked that there's one scene where they're in the drive-in, and there's a black 70 Superbird, white interior, white Plymouth logo, and that is my official favorite color combo on a Subaru, because that car was scorchingly good looking.
That's one thing that's odd about that is you could not get a Superbird in black.
Was that car blue then, or was that not right?
What you see is a black Superbird, but it was painted black. I started digging into that car as well. It was originally a blue car with, I think it had white interior, and it was a 6-pack car. And at some point, someone painted it black. But then in the mid-90s, late 90s, it was restored and put back blue again. But it's somewhere there in Fort Worth or Austin area, somewhere close to Bernie. But it's still owned. A lot of the cars, what I was reading, a lot of the cars were privately owned cars that they just rented during the time. And I think they did have 2 of the GTOs, and those are both still locally owned. And most of the cars, if not all, are still, privately owned from the same owner that owned it during that time.
Wooderson's driving an LS5 Chevelle, and he goes to, this may come up later, but he goes through all the stats that are under the hood in that car.
Let me tell you what Melvin Toast is packing right here. I've got 411 posi track outback, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, Ford over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
And then he says 390 horse. If you got 11-to-1 pistons in this car, and you've done all that you've said you're doing, it's making more than the factory 390 it was rated at.
Yeah, but let's be real. Most high school kids, they'll rattle off stuff like that, and it's not true. So that's pretty accurate.
Oh, well, Wooderson isn't a high school kid.
I know,
he is
but
somewhere
still.
Between 18 and 45.
Yeah, but still. He's still in there.
You never really know. The genesis of the movie, if I had to pick one character that it centers around, I don't know that I could, because it really centers around 2 or 3, but I'm going to pick 2, and I'm not going to say Matthew McConaughey. One is Randall Pink Floyd, so he's the high school quarterback who doesn't want to sign the no drug pledge.
Right.
And then the other is the 8th grader, Wiley Wiggins.
Right, Mitch or something.
Mitch. Sorry, Wiley Wiggins is the actor's name. And there's this bizarre side or main plot also happening. On the last day of school, the juniors in high school drive to the local junior high and publicly, with the permission of teachers, call out the male students there to beat them. And not slightly haze them. I mean hurt them.
Well, like when they pulled up in the truck and they come over the megaphone or the speakerphone, whatever, and the teacher that's in the classroom, he like lights up. He's like, oh, here it is.
Big day.
He knew what it was.
Yeah. Gonna have fun today, aren't you? I mean, what does he tell him? Like, as my sergeant in Vietnam told me, there's 50 of you going in and there's 25 coming out.
Yep.
It's like our sergeant told us before one trip into the jungle. Men, 50 of you are leaving on a mission. 25 of you ain't coming back.
Okay.
So, one of the things that I like is that the kid's name is Mitch, right?
Yeah, the 8th grader.
Okay, so he and his buddies, they try to escape the torture. And one of his buddies, as a junior high kid, gets the mom's car somehow. And the casting of this is terrific. The teenagers in high school are teenagers. And all the middle schoolers, they look young. I mean, no middle school there looks like they're 19 or 20 playing a 13-year-old. They all do look basically like kids. But Mitch has to pitch a game that night while all the big high school kids are heckling him and they're yelling at him, they're mean at him, and he throws 3 strikes. And on the 3rd strike, there's one moment where they all stop for a second, like they just take in the moment, like, man, that was awesome. Like, we're busting this kid's balls, and he still threw a strike. And I don't. There's little moments in this movie that are very redeeming. Like when all the high school juniors are telling all the freshmen or incoming freshmen that they've just beat about, like, how to make moves on girls to make yourself look cool. And they do that all the time. They go, nah, you just got to say you're not interested. Don't worry, it works. Over there.
Yeah, but at the same time, going back to the baseball field, you see these juniors over here just carrying on, and, everybody in the ballpark probably hears them. And then the kid goes out to center field to leave and go home, and then they're there waiting for him, and they just start wearing them out. And, I'm thinking, where's the parents?
What's going on? Who's in charge?
Are any adults even seeing any of this happen?
Well, the guys heckling, they're over on a fence. They're on the exit side of the field. And the parents, I don't think they really even show the grandstands, but being a JV game or a junior high game like that, there's only going to be about 18 people there total anyway.
Yeah.
So it may not count a whole lot.
But, I mean, why aren't the parents there watching their kid play?
I don't know. It is bizarre because there's very little parenting going on here.
Right.
I mean, kids are coming home the next day, reeking of booze and marijuana.
and then you got mom showing up at the door with a shotgun. So there's that parent.
I took some consciousness notes as I went through this movie, so I'm just going to go through these. Then I do have some filming facts for you guys, and the cars. The cars they just kind of blew me away. So here's my first note. Great start to the movie. GTO Judge rolling around the parking lot. Next thought. I like that the woodshop guy is wearing his safety goggles on his forehead next to the machine that says always wear your safety goggles while he's using a router, I think. What's the black truck that they're driving? Is it a 70?
It's like a 72.
70 has the egg crate grill. I didn't know what year it was.
71, 72 has that grill.
I don't know if it's lowered, but I agree with Bernie. Great looking truck. Ben Affleck is in this movie. I forgot he was in this. He pulls up in a 73 Duster that's already in primer. Why is a 3-year-old Duster in primer? And how much beer can you fit in the trunk of a 73 Duster
and not drag the bottom?
It was probably, we'll just say it was like, metallic green or something, which doesn't look like much of a hot rod color. Or maybe he wrecked it and, had to get some mismatched parts. So we're just going to sand it down and prime the whole thing. And that's kind of the way, maybe. We'll go with that.
Last day of school, 1976, and the social studies teacher is making sure to exit on Democrat propaganda.
Yeah.
Totally different random thought. I love the cars in here. I can't find a single incident where there's a 17 or an 18-inch wheel accidentally slipped in on a car somewhere. They're all rolling on 14s or 15s with big sidewalls. Love it. Absolutely love it.
This was filmed in 93, so even then, 17s weren't really...
But not even a 16. I mean, maybe it was just the right time at the right place, but I appreciate the lack of modern
accuracy
in here.
CB antennas on the cars. The Chevelle had a same CB antenna that your General Lee has, the Radio Shack.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I didn't know. When Wooderson pulls in that 70 Chevelle, it's a great looking car. And the shot that when it pulls in is a lower 3/4 shot and it pulls around. So you see it kind of bottom right looking up at it. So whenever you look up at a car, it always looks more impressive for some reason from the ground with CB antenna. Another note to myself here, they did a great job casting. The middle schoolers look like middle schoolers. I believe that they're middle schoolers in here. Let's see here. I had a true or false question for Corn Dog. Can a Superbird be black? The answer is it can't.
Nope.
But it looks great when it is.
7 colors and black's not one.
Let's see here.
Well, another one that would go along with your train of thought would be the accuracy of the wardrobe. The clothes were, I felt like I was there. I had some of that stuff. In fact, I texted you guys a picture of me in 1970 something. I forgot what it said on the back of me and my dad sitting on the fireplace wearing those clothes, wearing that kind of shirt.
Dude, that is almost the same shirt the 8th graders wearing.
I know. Zipper shirts. I had some of those. The bell bottoms. Some of them were straight. Some were bell bottoms. Cowboy snap shirts. Dude.
That's awesome.
It was like I've been shopping at Sears again.
We're posting this. Yep.
A little edit and rotating and cropping, and it'll go to good use.
Okay.
All right. Sean Andrews, he was the guy with the GTO, and his girlfriend Mila Jovovich in the movie became boyfriend and girlfriend on set and got married. He was 21 and she was 16.
Wow.
Her mother had it annulled. Like, nope.
Interesting.
No to that. Okay, I wanted to go to the production notes. All right, so Richard Linklater is the guy that filmed it, and I think he was originally from Texas. He moved to Austin. He had directed the film Slacker, which caught the attention of Universal Pictures producer Jim Jacks, who saw the film in 1991. Jacks and his colleague Sean Daniel had been searching for a first project for their production company. Hoping to get Universal to finance this film for $6 million, Jacks called Linklater and flew him to Los Angeles to discuss producing a studio film. Linklater later agreed, receiving a $25,000 check to write the script, which he used to pay off his debts from producing the movie Slacker. I don't know where that all goes. Linklater wanted to use undiscovered talent for the movie Dazed and Confused. And the reason that he did that is because he had no money. He used 1/6 of his budget, again, for the music.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew McConaughey was not originally cast in the film. The role of Wooderson was originally very small and meant to be cast locally for budget purposes. McConaughey was a film student at the University of Texas in Austin and went out drinking with his girlfriend one night. They ended up at the Hyatt Hotel bar since his friend was a bartender there and could get him a discount. He approached the casting director of the movie, Phillips, in the bar. Phillips recalls the bartender says to him, "See that guy down there? That's Don Phillips. He cast Sean Penn in Fast Times." And Matthew goes, "I'm going to go down and talk to that guy." Phillips also recalls that Linklater did not like McConaughey at first because he was too handsome. McConaughey and the director, or the casting guy, get drunk. Way drunk. And he sends McConaughey down the next morning to get a small role in the film, and he lands the role of Wooderson. The director was sued by 3 of his friends from high school that had the same last names as 3 characters in the movie.
Oh, wow.
One of which was Wooderson, one of which I think was the Randall Floyd, and I don't remember the third one here. Wooderson's character was supposed to be nothing. But when the Sean Andrews guy didn't get along with other people in the film, his role became less, way less, and Wooderson's became way more. And McConaughey was just electric on film. And he became the star of the movie, even though he was a minor part of the movie. He wasn't supposed to be basically in it. But once he's in it, no matter what scene he's in, he's commanding the room. And it's really pretty clear.
You know what this movie kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of, in a way, American Graffiti. It's like, maybe 25 years later, but it's based on one night, and it's kind of the same thing. High school kids hanging out, graduating, and then going cruising and all that. And then you've got McConaughey's role basically mimics John Milner in the 32 Ford. You know, he's older than the other ones, and everybody looks up to him and just kind of idolizes him. And that's kind of the vibe that I got. So I don't know if it's kind of a nod to American Graffiti or if it just kind of works out that way, but yeah.
Dude, you stole my thunder because I was going to save this for the end of the show. I wrote it down here. I was going to ask both you guys, do you think this is a better version of American Graffiti?
I think it's probably maybe portrayed better, maybe with the budget and, you know, all that, but it's basically a small time in a certain decade and, you know, of high school kids. And so, yeah, I don't know that it's better, but it was kind of portrayed a little bit better, maybe.
I got some production notes for you here. Universal, the studio, encouraged the director to add nudity to the film. According to reports, the studio really wanted more sex. Their point was, if we're going to get an R rating, why not get it for sex? They weren't saying, don't have language and drugs, but they said we should have sex too. I can't imagine a movie being more over the top than this one is. And there are scenes in there where I frankly was a little uncomfortable. Especially when some of the girls that are saying it are supposed to be in middle school. But Linklater recalls Universal chairman Tom Pollack telling Don Phillips to get some boobs in the movie. To attempt to secure an extra $500,000, Linklater wrote a scene in which Mike, Tony, and Cynthia are flashed by a woman while cruising around, which he later removed. I'm glad he did. Let's see here.
The F-bombs make up for it, though.
They sure do. Filming took place at the top-notch hamburger restaurant in Austin, Texas. I think that's a real place. Have you ever been there, Bern?
I've not.
I know it's Austin, not Dallas, but sounds like it's a famous player. Let's see. The soundtrack, the process for song clearance began in November of 92 with the aid of music supervisor Harry Garfield. Nearly 10% of the film's budget was used for music rights. Let's see here. The cars used in the film actually were locally sourced. Where did you see that they had 2 GTOs?
Hot Rod actually did an article.
Did they? Boy, if High School Burn could see this now.
If High School Burn. God, I love the music in this movie. Ted Nugent, Deep Purple, playing Highway Star while they're driving around. Oh, my gosh.
I didn't get to read this article all the way. I kind of skimmed over it while we were getting started. But it has a photo there of the 2 GTOs.
It sure does. Let's see here. As we rolled into the production lot, this is from hotrod.com. As we rolled into the production lot for Dazed in central Austin, Texas, we saw a big white limo pull right up to our GTO. Out of the limo, just back from the west coast, to seal the deal with the movie Dazed and Confused, was the film's writer and director, Richard Linklater. He walked to the GTO, looked inside, saw the shiny black buckets and stout shifter sticking up the console, and he said to me, "This GTO will be the star of my movie. It will be in every scene." He then said, "Let's make a deal for your car," obviously speaking to me. I responded that this was James' deal, not mine. Rick, who looked much younger than his age, he was in his early 30s, shook hands with James. Seizing the moment, James pounced on his opportunity. As he spoke, he sounded unequivocal. If Rick was using the 70 GTO in the movie, they had to use him in the movie too, not to be hoodwinked. He said he wanted to be written into that contract. So I haven't read the whole article here, but yeah, there's 2 of them. Orbit Orange. That's the color of the GTO. That's pretty sweet. The author of this article, by the way, is Patrick J. Sullivan. Very cool. That's from the May 2nd, 2014 of Dazed and Confused.
And Don Keith.
Oh, Don Keith is he a writer for Hot Rod, or is he?
Well, it just says
he is a writer.
Yeah, a writer. So I guess they both wrote a little bit on this article.
Let's see. 76 El Caminos featured in the movie. I think that might be the only goof in the movie, because according to IMDb, it's a 77. But they look identical. Here's Box Office Mojo for 1993. In 131st place, Dazed and Confused. Didn't make the top 10. Didn't make the top 100. It made the top 131, though. In 12th place, Groundhog Day, $70.9 million. In 10th place, A Few Good Men, $78.2 million. In 5th place, Mrs. Doubtfire, $109 million. 4th place, Sleepless in Seattle, $126.7. 3rd place, The Firm, $158.3. 2nd place, The Fugitive, $176.4. And in 1st place, Jurassic Park, $338.9 million.
Those are some heavy hitters.
Some big hitters.
Do you think that this movie is more of a cult classic than the rest? I mean, Mrs. Doubtfire's a movie. You see Sleepless in Seattle all the time.
Yeah, it's one of those that was unappreciated, more than likely, when it first came out, but then it got bigger and bigger, I would imagine. It's kind of the way it seems to me.
It's probably one of those films that we all love and we have kind of forgotten about because of the placement of the other films, and once we rediscover it, we've done that a couple of times here, found some great shows that, oh yeah, I remember loving this.
Bern, do you think that Randall Pink Floyd went on to play football his senior year?
I do not.
And is because he wanted to smoke and drink instead?
I think
Or was he just caught up in the counterculture?
I think he said it best. He thinks he may have just been over it all, if that was the direct quote. Or moved on, or whatever he said.
I like at the very end, he does say, I might play, but I'm not signing that.
Right.
So he wants to play because he wants to play, but he doesn't want to be.
And that's not his decision to not sign and not play. It's not his decision to not sign and still play. That would not have been his decision. But another thing that was dead on were the coaches' uniforms. Oh my God, those ugly shorts and those shirts and those
Tony shorts.
Nut huggers and those.
Yeah. Well, when they first show the coach, what does he do? He pulls them up above his belly button and then starts, walking over to the students.
Spot on. And the look of the coaches, they look like junior high football coaches. Just,
all
the
they
face and
needed
the hair, just spot on. Oh my Lord.
All they needed was a clipboard stuffed in the shorts.
Yes.
Which of all these people went on to be a successful business person?
Business person?
Or an astronaut? Or a pastor?
Or of the characters.
Yeah, of all the characters, who went on? Because many of the actors did go on to very large careers. But which of the characters actually had a future?
Well, Matthew, obviously, and then Cole, is that his name?
What's the name of the pot-smoking guy? I'd love to know what happened to him. Yeah. They're all pot-smoking, but the one that was just
had like the funny little hat on or something.
Yes. I don't know who went on to success. I'm hoping that the kid, Mitch.
Yeah.
I mean, he did throw, 3 strikes in a row under high duress. I'm hoping that he went on to do something good.
Oh, and their movie career you're talking about. You're projecting into their movie life.
Their character
life.
Their characters. I want to know if the characters went on to success.
Not real world success, but like the little small town.
Yeah, exactly.
Carried on from there. Don't know.
Who knows? Let's end on this. Is this a real movie quote from the movie Dazed and Confused or not? You will each get 3 shots at this. If it is, you just say it is, you get 1 point. If it's not, you can say it's not, you get 1 point, but you get a bonus point if you can tell me what it is from. Bern, you are up first. Bern, is this 52-second clip from the movie Dazed and Confused?
All right.
Oh, Christ.
How you doing? Cool. You heard about the party being busted, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not to worry. There's a new fiesta in the making as we speak. It's out at the Moon Tower. Full kegs. Everybody's gonna be there. You ought to go.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be there.
Okay.
Say you need a ride?
No, I got my own car. Thanks.
Yeah, well, listen, you ought to ditch the two geeks you're in the car with now and get in with us, but that's all right. We'll worry about that later. I will see you there, all right?
Bye.
I love those redheads, man.
I know you. We had geography together, remember?
Oh. I chose that on purpose because that is the whole movie. Everything is long and slow and drawn out, and then it delivers. Burton, was that from the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes, it was.
Way to go. 1 point for you. Corn Dog, was this from the movie Dazed and Confused?
Let me tell you what Melvin Toast is packing right here. All right, we've got 411 posi track out back, 750 double pumper, Edelbrock intakes, Ford over 30, 11-to-1 pop-up pistons, turbojet, 390 horsepower. We're talking some fucking muscle.
Two edits there, Burn. One for the non-Holly product and the other one for the other one. Corn Dog, was that from the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes, it definitely was. But I like how he refers to it as intakes. More than one. Intakes.
11-to-1 pop up. I like it. Burn, you're up. Was this from the movie Dazed and Confused?
No, man. No, I'll tell you. That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Go.
Yes, they do.
Bert, was that from the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes, it was.
You guys think they'll all be McConaughey's?
Maybe.
No, I don't.
Who knows? Corn Dog, was this from the movie Dazed and Confused?
So right before we're about to go, I'm like, what is Wooderson? What is Wooderson about? What's he about? And I go, man, he's about four things. He's about, his car. He's about getting high. He's about rock and roll and picking up chicks. And I go, I'm in my car. I'm high as a kite. I'm listening to rock and roll. Action. And there's the chick. All right.
That's amazing. All right. Was that from the movie Dazed and Confused?
That was not in the movie. It was about the movie, but I don't know what that was actually from. It doesn't sound like a late night talk show. It sounds kind of like just a news type interview or talk, afternoon talk show.
You're right. McConaughey has embraced the phrase all right. And when anyone on any setting wants to interview him about it, he's given that exact answer on numerous shows. I don't remember which talk show I pulled that from, but he's done it on numerous ones. So 2 points for you right there.
Good
Burn. Over to you. Was this, final one for Burn, was this from the movie Dazed and Confused?
So, to any of us, whatever those things are, whatever it is we look up to, whatever it is we look forward to, and whoever it is we're chasing, to that I say amen. To that I say, all right. And to that I say, just keep living, huh? Thank you.
Sounded like an award show. Burn, was that from the movie Dazed and Confused?
It was not from the movie.
Do you know what it was for an extra point?
It sounds like a college commencement speech or high school commencement speech.
Believe it or not, it's from the Oscars. Matthew McConaughey had just won an Oscar, and his closing phrase was, all right. Just keep living. Also from the movie.
Point. I get the point because it's a room full of immature idiots.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, Bernie, I thought the same thing when I heard it. I thought, okay, well, this is him talking to the, Longhorn graduating class, and, he's doing the whole spiel. But, yeah, thought the same thing.
Final one for Corn Dog. So, if this was from the movie and you get it right, it's a tie. But if it wasn't and you get it right, you win. Now, there were other actors in the movie besides Matthew McConaughey. I haven't played one yet. But there were other actors out there. Here's the final one. Was this from the movie Dazed and Confused?
Wish I held onto a little piece of that thing, because the buzz that he indicated, that movie's going to make some huge bank.
What buzz?
The internet buzz.
What?
is the internet?
The internet is a communications tool used the world over where people can come together to bitch about movies and share pornography with one another.
Okay, there you go. That's your clip. Doesn't sound like McConaughey to me. Sounds like one of the other major actors from this movie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's definitely not Dazed and Confused, so there's that. But that did sound like Affleck.
It was Affleck. And for the win, what was that reference from?
Or is it Affleck?
Affleck. Ben Affleck.
Not like the insurance company.
No, it's not like insurance at all.
You said what was that from?
Yeah, for the win.
Man, I have no clue.
It's from a Kevin Smith movie.
That doesn't help. No idea who Kevin Smith is.
You ever seen the movie Mallrats?
Yeah, I forgot he was in
Clerks.
that. Yeah, with Jay and Silent Bob.
It was, and there was one movie starring Jay and Silent Bob called Jay and Silent Bob.
Crap.
Strikes again. Strike back. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Way to go. You get the win. Good job. You have each won a game.
Yeah, I got conned into watching some of those Mallrat movies back when I was freshly out of high school, and I was like, this is the dumbest movie. It was, I guess it was Clerks. The black and white movie from like the security camera. I was like, this is the stupidest movie ever. And I never watched it again. Couldn't tell you anything about it.
I got sucked into watching Clerks 3. Somehow watched the whole thing.
Wow.
All right, fellas, that completes our review of Dazed and Confused. It is a cult classic. It has no plot, yet it really does. The music is great. The cars are great. Be careful who you watch this with. Don't have your kids around, for God's sakes. Vern, we'll end with you. Since this was of your era, do you like this movie? Is this a favorite of yours, or is it just a nostalgic piece of your time?
It is a nostalgic piece of my time. I don't care for dialogue that uses that many F-bombs and things to try to enhance the script. In a movie like that, you just don't need it. The story, the cars, the setting tells the whole story. That's all you need. So, yes, a nostalgic piece. Would I watch it again? Of course. Sure.
It was good. I dug the cars. Dug every single bit of them. All right, everybody. Hope that you've enjoyed this. Make sure that you subscribe on YouTube here on the Kibbe and Friends channel. Make sure that you subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and all of the other audio channels. And make sure that you just go to our website and you can actually see all the show posts there. Fellas, anything else before we go?
Got to go to that little room.
You got to take a whiz?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well,
in case everybody wanted to know.
Don't we all? All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you on Patreon on April 30th. Patreon.com/KF Show is where you go. Bye-bye.
Later.